Hi everyone, I'm Sanai. Welcome to this video. As you know from the title, I'm fixing two of my old drawings today. One of them is this card drawing which I painted 4 years ago, and the second one is this hair drawing which I painted 3 years ago, but it's not complete. So let's start fixing them. I started with the hair drying because it was staying incomplete on my bookshelf for a long time and I really wanted to just finish the drawing, but I was being lazy with this piece. I started this drawing when I was participating in art classes. I was learning how to paint realistic face drawings with color pencils, and my art teacher started teaching us by painting face parts separately. I did few eye drawings, nose and lips, but when it came to hair as last part of the series to paint, I started the work, but when I saw that I have learned to paint the hairs, I promised my teacher to complete the drawing at home, but I never did. Normally, when I start a painting or doing anything like reading a book or watching a movie, I spend many hours doing it without taking a break until I finish it. Sometimes I don't even sleep at night. For example, when I was doing my periodic table drawing, I stood awake for 2 nights and the next day I had school. But I know this if I don't finish the job that I'm doing, in a short time I will never finish it again. And it may take many years for me to decide to finish it. Like this drawing, which is waiting for being complete for 4 years now. After comparing the drawing with the real reference, I realized that there is a mistake in base sketch. So I drew the right lines on the painted parts with a pencil and tried to erase the wrong coloring and correct it. I worked in layers, starting with light beige and yellow tones, then slowly adding darker brown and even some gray to create this. The key to drawing realistic hair is to use very light strokes, almost like you are painting one straight at a time. I spent a lot of time blending the colors so the transition between light and shadow would look natural. I used darker shades for the weave part to make it bold. I also colored the tail and the face to complete the drawing. One of the most challenging aspects of this drawing was creating this within the braid itself. Each section overlaps the next, and I wanted to make sure the layers look natural. To achieve that, I darkened the shadows between the strands and then blended carefully so that the transition weren't so harsh. Another detail that I paid attention to was the variation in hair color. Hair is never just one solid color. It has lighter tones, darker strands, and sometimes even unexpected highlights, depending on the light source. That's why I mixed different shades of yellow, brown, and even a touch of gray to give the braid more life. I also spent extra time on the lower part of the hairstyle, where the braid transitions into the ponytail. The direction of the strokes changes, so I had to adjust the way I layered the pencil marks. This made the flow of the hair feel more realistic and dynamic. For the background, I kept it soft and natural, so the texture of the hair would remain the star of the piece. This drawing took a lot of patience. I think hair is one of those subjects that always teaches you something new every time you try it. I'm really satisfied with the final look, and I'm really happy because I finally finished this drawing. What do you think about it? Share your ideas in comment section. Okay, let's continue with this card drawing. This drawing is really special for me because it's one of the first artworks which I did with color pencils. In art classes, before moving to face parts drawings, I learned to paint normal objects. I painted this car on my own interest to cars, but because I was a beginner, I had some mistakes. For example, coloring wasn't really clean, and it needed few layers of paint. The tonality was really weak and it could be better. Also, there can be more shades and shadows. So I repaint the whole sketch and tried to blend the colors and show that composite between the colors. I really wanted to show that rainbow reflection on the blue surface, so I used multiple layers of blue, orange, yellow, and purple to create that metallic look. After finishing the main body, I moved to the grille. The tiny dots and chrome lines took patience and precision, but they are what give the car its identity and luxury feel. I didn't touch the background. A few hints of trees, pavement, and shadows give context, but they don't take away attention from the car. The reflections on the bodywork were especially fun to work on. They captured the environment in subtle ways. You might see the hint of a building, the glow of the sky, or even a tree's shadow. These touches make the car look like it truly exists in a real space, instead of floating on paper. Once the main colors were down, I added highlights with a white gel pen to bring extra shine. On metallic surfaces, highlights are essential. They make the material look glossy and polished. I also went back to darken certain shadows because contrast is what gives the illusion of depth. Every little adjustment added realism until finally the piece felt complete. I'm really proud of how the drawing turned out. I hope you enjoyed the whole process. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see me draw next. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.